All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Real People, Real Results. My name is Krista Taylor, and I'm a team leader with Vox Life. And this call, my friend and co-host Paul Austin is away today, but generally him and I work together on this. And we run this call every 2 weeks so that you can be invited to hear real, regular people telling their stories about how this incredible wearable neurotech has helped them. So the person that invited you here is really excited about it. And some of us are like over the top excited about it because we've seen and heard what it can do for people that we care about. And often that's ourselves as well. So I'll just give you a quick snapshot on what this wearable neurotech is, how it impacts your body. And then we have the pleasure tonight of having BJ here with us and Candy, and they're going to share their stories. I'm just going to ask them a couple of questions and they're just going to tell us how it is for them, how they found these products and why they decided to wear them, and then what happened after that. Every story is going to be different because what's happening is the pattern that's in a sock or an insole or a derma patch is touching the neuroreceptors, either on the ball of your foot or on your arm. And when these neuroreceptors are triggered, your nervous system responds, carrying a message to your midbrain. And for every person, there's a response of your midbrain going to homeostasis, which is your equilibrium. So it's like going back to factory settings. And that puts your body in your optimal position to do its job, which is always working on your wellness. That's what your body's always doing. All of us, that's how we're programmed as humans. And this person, Jay Dollywall, figured out how to create this pattern that simply works on tactile touch. So that's non-invasive, it's chemical-free, drug-free. And we've helped 6 million people in 4 years. Now, the reason that we've helped that many people is because, you're going to hear 2 stories tonight, 2 impacts tonight. When it helps people, everybody tells everybody they know. That's the interesting thing about health and wellness, I have learned. When you find something that works for you, you want other people to know about it. And the really cool thing about Vox Life Wearable Neurotech is it's been studied and it works for every single person. So not to say that, if you have a sore foot, it's going to work for you. If you have a sore shoulder, it's going to work for you on that particular ailment or condition. But what it does is it puts your body at its optimum to do the work. And then your brain will prioritize where you need the work and what kind of work needs to be done. So it's incredible. The stories are incredible. We have the Vox Life testimonials page. We're live in that page now to share the story, because you'll see there's 55,000 people in there. People just go in and they share their stories. They share their stories. Because again, when you find this kind of relief or improvement to your quality of life, you want to tell other people. That's how we operate. That's who we are. And since the very beginning, so the human performance technology is what the original wearable neurotech was called. And that's that one that comes in the socks, the insoles, the derma patch or knee brace or shapewear. Then Jay, after that, continued. This guy is on a mission to help 1 billion people. So he just continues to develop new wearable neurotechnologies to help people in different ways. So that HPT is the gateway. Then he added cognitive boost technology, which is in the form of a sleeve that many of us wear. And this really works from the neck up. So this helps you with stress, anxiety, focus, concentration, that type of involvement in your brain. And again, it's tactile, it's touch. There's just a pattern in here that's touching the neuroreceptors on my arm, and it's eliciting that response in everybody. That's how it works. We also have REM patches that help to optimize your sleep. We have meta patches that help to optimize your metabolism. And we have Neurovax patches, which help to optimize your immune system. So we're not going to get into all of that today, but the person who invited you has the information and they're ready to share it with you. So just give them a call, send them a text, get in touch with them. they can show you the information that I'm talking about in greater detail. And if you're an analytical person, if you're very scientific, you're really curious about the details of it, we have all the scientific evidence as well. And we have that available right from our websites actually to show you. So the person that invited you here can send you that link, and you can go through and see all the information that's there if you're interested in that. But we always say, try it, because the things I have personally had the opportunity to see happen right in front of my eyes sometimes. That, you know, for me, I didn't have instant results. It took quite a long time, but it's seriously impacted my quality of life since I started wearing it in 2017. And some people have faster results. It's just, get it on your body, try it out, and see. Maybe you'll be back here as a guest in a few weeks or a few months or a few years with us to share your experiences, because they can be quite profound. So we're really glad you're here. Thanks. Sit back, relax. I'm going to call on BJ first, and then I'm going to call on Candy, and let's hear what this technology has done for them. BJ, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Appreciate
Good.
it. Krista. You're doing an awesome job.
Oh, thanks. And I'm so glad you're here. So BJ, tell us, how did you find Vox Life, or why did you decide to try it out? What was your first?
I didn't find Vox Life. Vox Life found me.
Haha, tell me about that.
So a friend who had just been introduced to probably about a day or two before, we had no clue what this was. And she basically said, try it, try it. So I stood on the insoles. And when I stood on them, I literally felt more stable than ever before. And for a person that has dizzy spells and losing balance and neurological issues from chronic Lyme disease, it was a challenge. I was using either a wheelchair, a walker, a quad cane, a regular cane for stability, and for many, many years, a regular cane. But when I stood on those insoles, I felt like grounded, like I was planted. And I have neurological drop foot in both feet. I still do. Even today, I'm actually, this month I'm having a flare. So it's just part of my life, unfortunately. But this technology has been incredible, because I felt, like I said, very stable, and the dizzy switch went off instantly. And I am 99% pain-free, dizzy-free, and drop foot free. When my drop foot comes, it's kind of like Vox goes, not today, because it's only a couple of seconds, and then it just fixes right up. So it's pretty incredible.
Isn't that awesome? Eh?
Yes.
It's so interesting. I got to say, before I found this, I had no idea how many people in the world were dealing with dizziness and quietly, silently dealing with pain. I had no idea, but it's so interesting. So tell me, how often do you walk with a cane now?
Well, that's a great story, because over 3 years ago, when I was introduced to that technology, I got my socks on and I went to grab my cane to go to our church for a program. And it's a huge campus, stairs, everything. And I would usually hold on to the railing with my cane and, take my time and try not to fall, and just keep a good balance. And when I went to grab my cane, I thought, I don't need this anymore. And then I thought, okay, well, I can hang on to my husband. I can hang on to the walls, It was amazing. I was all over that campus. I could not believe I wasn't holding on to rails. It was just absolutely amazing. I've been cane free for over 3 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank
wow.
you. It's great
Wow.
having both hands available. It's great having both hands available. And with the cane, that was a whole part of balance and pain and shifting the weight. I was on the highest dose of NeuroTech years and years ago, because the pain that I had from Lyme, misdiagnosed with MS, was actually like bone crushing, burning numbness, where I had to learn how to walk again. I literally was in a wheelchair or flat on my back, and I had to learn how to walk again on these big cushions, 1 foot at a time. So the NeuroTech was the highest dose. I was like a space cadet. So not only was I in such pain, just every day was survival, just getting through the day.
Holy smokes. That's a lot. So, well, I asked BJ to tell us that how often she uses her cane, because she sent me in preparation for this, she sent me 2 pictures of her. One looks so different from the other. And it's so interesting to me when we meet people now through Vox, you can't fathom that they were any different than they are today. I see you leaning there in the wilderness. I think there she is. Okay, great. And then you show me the other picture where you're on your cane and you got braces on, and such a
in the
difference.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say about quality of life? How's your quality of life compared to
Oh, it's just absolutely amazing. I have so much more energy. I have more focus. I'm stronger, and I love sharing this technology. I see people out, and I know they're suffering. And for a person who suffered all those years, my family suffered right with me. It's life changing. How can I not help someone? You know, and honestly, to see someone's life change right in front of your very eyes, like that moment, it's so addictive. It's a good addiction.
It really is, isn't it?
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's so shocking. When you're talking about feeling stable, I remember a story of a kid brought his mom to my booth when I was at a trade show, and she had that kind of experience. And she was young, and she got her balance from it, and you could just see in her face, her husband's face, her kid's face. It's extraordinary,
I
extraordinary.
love to see them not know what to do with their cane, just like me. They kind of carry it, and they're I've seen people, they don't know what to do with it. It's hilarious. I love it.
Well, even just, the things we take for granted. I never even thought about when you said, and then I had two hands free.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
You know,
amazing. Two
that's
hands free. Hmm.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
So what would you say to somebody? Say, BJ, they're watching this, they've tried the socks, maybe they've got something going on that's major, maybe they don't. Maybe they're a relatively healthy person and they just tried them out for walking or hiking or something. But they're seeing this and like many of us, they see the testimonials and think, yeah, okay, like I want to help people too. What would you say to them? Do you think that they should step off and come join us, or how hard was it for you to get started?
absolutely. It was amazing to get started. We were pretty new, you know. I mean, it was over 3 years ago. So, and like I said, my friend Linda, we had no clue. We had no clue what the potential of this technology was until my first call. Norma, she's my first customer, and she was bent over at the door and she was using her cane. I left and she was standing straight and she wasn't using her cane. She's 83 years old right now. So my first customer, and I still keep, we still keep in touch, and it's pretty amazing actually. So when you see that, how can you not help people when you're out at the grocery store and you see people, they put one foot in front of the other and they're hurting. You know what I mean? They're in pain, they're hurting, they're stressed, they're anxious, they're all of those things. And this technology can bring that all into balance. Like you said, homeostasis. It's an amazing thing,
Oh my
homeostasis.
gosh.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being here, BJ. We really, really appreciate your time and for sharing your story. I'm so happy for you.
thank
Um,
you.
and I'm sure your story is going to help. I'm sure people are listening going, oh, I could, think about this person or this person or this person's sister or that person's. And that's the whole thing, right? We want people to think of other people so we can help them. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank you
very
also,
much.
Krista.
We
Appreciate it. Thanks,
appreciate it.
everyone.
Thank you. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, so these are the big, huge moments that like massive changes in people's lives. Even regular healthy people who don't have other things going on will get benefits from this. But you hear stories like this, and then how can you not? Now, Candy, where are you, my dear? There she is. Are you able to unmute?
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Hi, Krista.
Hi, Candy. How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm excited to be here and sharing my story again. I have a ton of them on the testimonials page. So if you search Candy Scott, I'm an eager sharer and had so many amazing things happen with myself and with clients. I just have to tell the world.
Feel compelled to tell people, right? It's so
Yeah, I
good. Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I
And
do.
that's if you're here for the first time or you're learning about this for the first time, this is who we are. This is how we operate. Um, we're grateful people. We're grateful to have our quality of life improved a little or a lot, and we want to share it. So just before you start, Candy, one point that you just made for people that are in the testimonials page or want to go to the Vox Life testimonials page, again, the person that invited you to this call can show you how to get there if you're not there. But you could just search. So you should go and search BJ, go and search Candy, search any conditions or anything that you're curious about, because people post their stories there all the time with the intention of helping others. So please take advantage of that to learn more. So Candy, excited
So
to talk to you. How did you
uh,
find Vox?
when I discovered Vox Life, my life wasn't looking like very much fun, not like it was now. So in my blurb, when you were advertising this, we had said when I found Vox Life, I was sad, sore, and stressed. And that was hard because I'm normally what I call a silver lining girl. That wasn't what was happening to me at that point in my life. I was so sad. A situation that many people are familiar with. My mom's dementia was rapidly progressing, and hard decisions had to be made, and I was grieving. And there's a lot of people out there that will understand the role of, turning into a daughter, from a daughter to a caretaker. So that was hard. And I was very sad about it. That's grief. That grief goes along with that. My husband's parents were struggling, and he too had taken on the role as a caregiver support for his dad, who had once been a proud farmer who had lost his mobility. He had suffered a broken back after the fall out of a truck, and that was a decline. So I can tell you, when I discovered that Vox Life helped to reduce fall risk in seniors, I have become quite very strong on that mission. It's important that we don't fall. These injuries come back to haunt us. I was also sore. I was recovering from a medication reaction to a common drug that's used to treat high cholesterol. My leg muscles ached. They were stiff and they were gluey. I had restless legs, arthritic-induced neuropathy in my toes, and I was in chronic pain. I had put off as long as I could a knee replacement. I'd had one in 2014. It was time for the other, but I was caught up with other things and just kept putting it off, and it was really becoming a problem. So with that, like many people, the injuries of my youth were impacting me now. I was a downhill skier, and I blew my knees apart too many times trying to catch up to my teenage boys on the hill. Maybe not my smartest choice. But I was taking a lot of over-the-counter pain medication, a dangerous amount, 8 to 10 pills a day. That's too much, but that was the only way I could find relief. I wasn't sleeping well due to nighttime pain, and menopause, oh, bless that, had left me with years of disturbed sleep. That was a very big hormonal change in my body that had impacted my sleep, and it wasn't resolving. I was also stressed. My husband and I were the victims of criminal financial fraud. Our carefully planned and comfortable retirement had been unimpacted by the deliberate theft of an unscrupulous fund manager. Yes. So years later, I am happy to report that he is now serving 22 years in jail. But the damage to our financial peace of mind was serious. And, we just weren't sure how we were going to be working this out. So that's where I was at when I saw the Facebook post. Dear friend of mine put it up on Facebook. It said Vox Life Socks and Insoles. And my spidey sense went, whoa, just like that. I clicked on the link. And in that moment, this is tricky.
Yeah.
I heard the message from my angel son, who had passed away 18 years earlier at the age of 25 from leukemia. He had had childhood leukemia at age 9 and had done well, but it came back and we didn't win this battle. I know there are many people out there who will hear and understand what I'm about to say. When we say, I receive guidance from my loved one who has passed. So those people won't think I'm crazy.
Nobody thinks you're crazy.
When I say I heard him, and I heard him as I'm looking at this post say, Mom, we need to do this. We can help a lot of people. I resisted. I was not in shape to help anybody. I pushed myself away from the computer and I cried out and I said, I can't do this. I have nothing left to give. And I heard him again, a little more insistent, kind of a bossy angel, let me tell you. He said, Mom, we need to do this. We can help a lot of people. So I phoned my friend, Debbie Brander, who'd put up the post. What's this about, Debbie? She told me her success story of getting the feeling back in her numb, painful, icy feet. Her nerves had been damaged during a knee replacement. It was a surgical accident, and she was told there was nothing could be done. So she had suffered for a number of years. but she was given a pair of socks as a gift and told to wear them because they were magic. She thought that was kind of crazy, but she did put them on when her friend insisted. And within days, she could begin to feel her toes, and they were no longer icy cold and painful. Nothing could be done until we found Vox Life socks. So we got together. She gave me a pair of knee-high socks to try. I probably have never purchased those if I'd been shopping, but it's all she had left. And they've absolutely turned out to be one of my favorite pieces of Vox apparel. And I wear it all. So I put them on. And the only word that I have to describe this is I felt a hum in my body. And I've seen that come in a number of times with people when their body just knows that something has changed, and it's changed instantly. I'm pretty body aware, so that wasn't terribly surprising to me, but it was a hum. I know now that this was my nervous system responding to the new information from that proprietary pattern in the socks. So now I'm certain there is something to this technology, and I signed up as an associate immediately, simply to get the best pricing. And doing a business was not on my mind at the time, but ordering more of these socks was sure on my mind. And that's how I began.
Isn't that awesome? It's so, yeah, that hum that you're talking about, when you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, that did not happen to me.
No,
No, not at all. But I have had so many people stand in front of me on my insoles and go, they make this face. My whole body's vibrating, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
So it's a very familiar response for many people.
It is. It is. Yeah.
So tell me, how's that? So that was then, and now, how long ago was that?
That was exactly 4 years ago today.
Oh, really?
Really.
I love that.
A little serendipity here with that, isn't there?
Isn't it? That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's exactly 4 years ago today that I saw that post.
Oh, I love that. So maybe somebody will see this post and
I hope so.
You'll change.
I hope so.
So how has it impacted your quality of life since then?
Well, of course, it's been a 4-year journey, and there's ups and downs, but I can honestly say at age 65, I feel years younger than I did when I began. Years younger. The listed benefits, it's as long as the arm that I have my eSmarter sleeve on. It's just, things are constantly coming up that I'm noticing. So let me first say that when I began and I committed, and I wear all of the Vox Life technology, and I wear the HPT 24/7. I wear the NeuroVax 24/7 as well. So that was my choice, but I have very poor eyes. When I take my glasses off, I can't see. When I take my Vox off, I don't have the same impact. So it was important to me to have this help all the time. Dr. Mark, our VP of Clinical Strategies and head researcher, his work explains why this is beneficial, and I'm sure that people listening will want to research that even further. So, but anyway, I've always understood that this tech doesn't fix anything, as you said. It just creates the measurable changes in the brain that reduce the perception of pain and increase functional performance. And for me, that's what I did, increased performance. So what did that look like for me? My restless legs calmed within days. The neuropathy in my feet was reduced by 90% within 3 days. The restless legs took about 10 days. As time went on, no more pain meds. I was down to, if I needed it, I could get by with maybe a couple a day. That was dramatic. That's huge. Energy and stamina. The ability to exercise with greater ease, daily activities. I could do it more and do it longer. I would phone Debbie and I'd say, do you think this increased energy I have is from the socks? She goes, well, I'm having it too. So, all of these things that happen, but do you think it could be the socks? Yes, it is. It's the socks. It's always the socks.
So true.
So recovery. That was the other thing I noticed after a busy day, you know, out in the bush with my hubby getting firewood, or in later times doing markets with Debbie on standing on cement for days. Your legs are appropriately fatigued for the work that you're doing, but I could still get a good night's sleep pain-free, and I'm fully refreshed and ready to go in the morning. And I've learned since then, by studying the information available to all of the people who are interested in Vox Life, that the body heals and repairs and regenerates at night. So good sleep is essential. I might add that my husband began to get better sleep because my restless leg self and chronic pain self was no longer kicking the blankets and all of that. So his life improved when I started wearing socks. My mood, as I said, I was very sad, but I noticed that my mood changed. It was elevated. I was no longer crying all of the time. I had the energy and the capacity and the desire to begin to do the things that I had lost interest in. So now, 4 years later, and that's always a roller coaster because life happens, but I manage any anxiety that arises easily. I'm astonished at how stuff just doesn't bother me. I'm calm and I'm focused. My mom is still with us in care, and trust me, recent events with the lockdowns and such, I'm so grateful for this tech that helps me remain calm and resilient in those situations, because of course her disease has progressed. If I'm calm, it helps her. It helps everyone around you. So, you know, be the calm one and let that ripple out to the rest of the world. So the stuff of life just simply doesn't get me upset like it once did. I think better, more clearly. I began to worry. Of course, with you have a mother that's got dementia, you every time you forget where your purse is, you begin to wonder if you're getting it too. But I had lost the ability to recall 7-digit numbers. So as a receptionist, I knew phone numbers was my thing, but gosh, I couldn't look at a number and put it into my phone without looking back 3 and 4 times. And, you know, that was a capacity I once had. When I began wearing the tech regularly, and when I added the sleeve, oh my goodness, my numbers came back. I can math better. I don't have to grab the calculator to do simple calculations or hand the paper over to my husband and say, you figure it out. No, I do all that. Sometimes I'm doing it quicker than him, but
Nice.
I write better. I noticed that my handwriting improved when I'm wearing the sleeve, and my thoughts improved. And when I was worried about my brain health then, I'm not worried about my brain health anymore. I'd feel like it's getting better all the time. So my disturbed sleep is a thing of the past. REM patch has been amazing for improving my quality of sleep. I awaken refreshed, clear-headed, and ready to go. I won't be without it. It took a number of months. Like I had years of poor sleep pattern, but I can count on a refreshing sleep every night. Even if I don't see the number of hours that I think I should have, but that quality sleep is what makes the difference. Surgical recovery. I had a knee replacement on February of 2020. And of course, that was my second one. The first one was in 2014 without tech. And oh my goodness, the difference in recovery was amazing. I had way less pain meds than I did the first time. I regained my range of motion quicker, my strength quicker, faster healing in the incision area, and my mobility is excellent. I did 3 hours of snow blowing the other day in knee-deep snow. I was like, what? Who does that? I do.
That's awesome.
It's because I can. My surgeon, he told me he wears Vox Life when he operates. I introduced him to the product, and he's quite fond of it now. This brings me to the addition of the newer technologies, the NeuroVax patch, improving and optimizing your immune system. So my blood chemistry had been somewhat off for a few years there, as my doctor was encouraging me to get out of the pre-diabetic numbers and into the normal ones with diet and exercise. And all of my efforts were to no avail. They were just kept sneaking up. Really wasn't sure where that was going to head. And then I began to wear the NeuroVax patch, not having any idea what it was going to do, but going in for a checkup 8 weeks later after wearing the patch continuously. And suddenly my blood numbers are normal. And she's going, oh, I don't know what you've been doing, but, keep doing that. And I said, well, all I've done is put on this patch. Nothing else has changed. And they continue to remain in the normal range. So that's been huge for me. My blood pressure readings are better when I have the NeuroTech on. And because I'm calm, I don't get that white coat syndrome and that sort of thing. And any mild arthritic inflammation I'd felt in my fingers disappeared when I started to wear the NeuroVax. So for me, once I started up that ladder of wellness, I was excited to add the obvious things like exercise and excellent hydration, all the stuff you should have been doing anyway. But when you're sad, sore, and stressed, you don't feel like doing any of those things. But I also know, I just want to caution people. I know I can't outpatch or out-tech continual poor life choices. So I use the tech to support the positive health habits that we should all be using anyway. And people ask me, will I always wear the tech? And I say, of course, because I know you can't outperform the tech. It simply makes your good days awesome and your worst days better. So the recent brain mapping studies that became available that proved long-term usage of that wearing the tech heals our neurology. That was so wonderful to see because it totally validated everything that I'd been feeling. So that was fun to know and share, of course. And there's one more piece to this story that I think is really important when it comes to helping others. When my angel son said to me, Mom, we can help a lot of people with this, I had no idea the positive impact it would begin to have on some of the people I have met like him, who would suffer the effects of chemotherapy treatment and neuropathy. I had occasion to reconnect with the pediatric oncology nurse that had cared for him as a child. We renewed our friendship. She remembered my son. And unfortunately, she had just been diagnosed with breast cancer herself. And of course, it was like, okay, this is where this gift was meant to be. And she quickly found out that on the days that she went for treatment and she was wearing her NeuroTech, that her treatment days, the side effects were not as severe. She just had better days. And so she too has become an avid sharer of the technology. So I believe his mission may have been accomplished in that way. So there's a couple more impacts that are personal in the way that the clients who become friends and the team that we have here at Vox Life, simply supporting one another. I've made lifelong friendships, and that's made a huge, my life's been enriched by this entire Vox Life community. So I'm excited to be able to share this with my husband. His initial skepticism was quickly wiped out by results. So his, mine, and the people we've helped. So he's been a huge part of my success in sharing this, and we're having fun doing it together. So what I've discovered, the impact for me, all those things, but is we make a difference in the world with this technology, and it makes a difference in us.
Oh, good. So good.
That's
so good. I love everything you just said.
There's so much more. I had to have notes, or I'd have gone down the rabbit trails of the millions of stories that I love to share.
Candy, thank you. That was so awesome.
Thank
so somebody's on the fence. They don't know you. They don't know me. They're watching this. Somebody invited them. They're like, is that for real? Yeah. What do you say to them?
Well, I signed up immediately just for the pricing advantage. That's what most people do. It's like, oh, I want something. Can I get a better deal? So, that's how I signed up. But obviously I knew I'd be sharing. There had been messages, and I was excited what was happening to me. So I researched everything I could find. I signed up, but the idea of doing a business hadn't occurred to me. And so if someone was asking me, well, why would I want to do this? I would want to know, first of all, what are they looking for? And if you're interested in helping people and you live a heart-centered life, and that using that talent and your ability to share maybe a way to find some financial freedom for you, I would highly suggest looking at Vox Life as a side gig, a second business, a full-time business, whatever it needs to be. But I researched everything I could find. The testimonials group became my good news of the day habit. I would encourage that for anyone, looking at this, spend time there. I learned more about the man behind the mission, and I eventually met him and consider him a friend and mentor, as many of us in Vox Life do. I knew without a doubt I was in the right place. I attended events and I talked with Debbie Daly. She's my Vox buddy, and we always talk socks and now so much more. But I led with my heart, but I'm also sensible. I didn't want to do anything that would add to our already stressed financial situation. So I invited my son, who is a business advisor and CFO, to speak to someone in the company with more knowledge, because this was very new and Deb didn't know anything. She just had magic socks. And so we reached out further, and fortunately we were able to connect with the VP of the company at that time, Dan Henson, and alleviate our concerns about the dreaded MLM. There are so many misconceptions and misinformation about this business model. And thankfully, Vox Life addresses those questions with utter transparency and integrity. So we spent time on the phone with Mr. Hansen, and unlike the crook who robbed us, we found only integrity in this company. So I'm happy to say we're no longer financially stressed. This Vox Life business has replaced lost income from that crook, and we fit it into our lifestyle. We've made it work for us, and it meets our goals. And not all of those goals are financial, obviously. This is about helping, people feel better. But I would suggest to people, you must do the work. We're farmers. It's like farming. Nothing grows if you don't put seeds in the soil and tend to the crop. So I never stopped sharing. And like BJ, I didn't find the business found me. So I have a personal motto. When you find something good in your life, share it. And I just began doing what I love to do, helping people, but I started with myself. That's where I would suggest someone start.
Put that oxygen mask on yourself first, right?
Correct.
Thank you so much for being here, for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you, Krista. It's been a pleasure. And thank you to everyone listening, and ones who will listen in the future as well. And come join us. We are so much fun.
We are so much fun. We really are.
We really are.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you being here. You and BJ tonight. What fun.
Her story's amazing.
It is. It's just, and so if you're watching this, maybe maybe you're hearing it for the very first time, maybe you've tried the socks and you're wanting to learn more, please get back to the person who invited you. We are on a mission to help 1 billion people. So if you want to be a customer with us, we want you to be here. If you want to be like a VIP customer, if you want to get a membership so that you can buy at a discount, by all means, come along. Share with us. Friends, just be prepared. Friends, family will want to do the same thing with you. And if you are somebody that's an entrepreneur like me and you want to build it into something bigger, then by all means, you're welcome. I mean, we've got people to train you and help you progress at the speed that you want to, if you want to. If you want to be a customer, by all means, we want you to be a customer with us. And we're happy to have you here on this mission that's still being a part of it with us. So I just want to go back and say, as Candy pointed out again, we're not saying that we have a magic wand or a silver bullet. Like we can't treat anything, diagnose anything, cure anything. That's not what we're suggesting at all. What we are saying, and it's been scientifically proven, is that these patterns will work with your nervous system to put your midbrain into homeostasis, and your body will do the rest. So what it does for you, we have to wait and see, but we want you to come back and tell us. Please come back and visit us. We'll be back, Paul and I, in 2 weeks to share a new pair of stories for you on Real People, Real Results. We appreciate you being here, and we hope you get back to the person who invited you and get enough of this product to wear it from laundry day to laundry day. Because as we all say, it's like your eyeglasses, it's like your whatever it is, your orthotics if you need them. If you're not wearing the tech, it doesn't help you. It's definitely not impacting your nervous system if it's in the drawer or on the bedroom floor. So get enough to wear it every day. Some people that's 3 pairs from laundry day to laundry day. Some people it's 14 pairs. Whatever it is, it's all covered by a 30-day money back guarantee, and you won't regret it. So thank you for being here, everyone. BJ and Candy, thank you for sharing your stories, and we look forward to seeing everybody again soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Good night.